In a stunning turn of events that's sending shockwaves through Washington, new intelligence reveals that millions of Americans might receive their stimulus dividend checks months earlier than expected. The timeline shift comes as President's latest court victory creates an unprecedented domino effect, potentially fast-tracking the distribution process that many thought was dead in the water. But here's what mainstream media isn't telling you: there's a hidden provision in the latest financial package that could double or even triple the payment amount for certain qualifying households. This isn't just another government handout, it's shaping up to be one of the most significant wealth transfers in modern American history. And if you're wondering whether you'll be eligible for the increased amount, stay tuned, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to break down exactly how these changes affect you and what you need to do before the deadline expires. Hey everyone, before we dive deeper into this game-changing development, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. The story begins with last Tuesday's unexpected announcement from the Treasury Department. While most Americans were going about their daily routines, a quiet meeting in the Capitol was reshaping the entire stimulus landscape. The new timeline, which has been independently verified by 3 separate congressional sources, shows that the first wave of payments could begin as early as February 2026, a full 4 months ahead of the original schedule. But here's where it gets interesting: the acceleration isn't just about speed, it's about strategy. Think about it: when was the last time you saw the government move faster than planned on anything, let alone a massive financial distribution? The answer lies in the complex web of political and economic factors that have aligned in a way nobody saw coming. Trump's legal team, working alongside key economic advisors, has managed to uncover a rarely used financial provision that dates back to the 1970s. This provision, originally designed for national emergencies, has become the cornerstone of the accelerated timeline. But what does this mean for you? Let's break down the numbers that everyone's been asking about. The base payment, which was initially set at $1,200, has been recalculated under the new formula. Depending on your household income and composition, you could be looking at payments ranging from $18 to $3,400. And here's the kicker: if you fall into certain occupational categories or have dependents under 18, you might qualify for the enhanced tier, which includes additional supplements that weren't part of the original package. Now, you might be wondering why this hasn't been plastered across every major news network. The answer reveals a deeper story about media priorities and political maneuvering. While mainstream outlets have been focused on surface-level political drama, the real action has been happening in the regulatory committees and financial oversight boards. These groups have been working around the clock to restructure the distribution system, making it more efficient and, surprisingly, more generous than initially proposed. Remember those long delays and technical glitches that plagued previous stimulus rollouts? The team behind this new timeline has learned from those mistakes. They've implemented a revolutionary digital distribution system that's been quietly tested in several states over the past few months. The results? Processing times have been cut by 67%, and accuracy rates have improved to nearly 99.8%. This isn't just an improvement, it's a complete overhaul of how government payments reach American citizens. But here's where you need to pay attention: eligibility requirements have shifted significantly under the new guidelines. If you received previous stimulus payments, don't assume you'll automatically qualify for this one. The criteria have been refined, and in some cases, expanded. For instance, households that didn't qualify for previous payments due to income thresholds might now find themselves eligible under the adjusted calculations. However, and this is crucial, there are specific steps you need to take to ensure you're in the system correctly. Let's talk about timing, because this is where many people get confused. The February 2026 start date isn't just a random choice. It aligns with several economic indicators that Trump's advisors have been monitoring closely. They've identified what they're calling a golden window, a period where the economic impact of these payments could be maximized. But here's the catch: this window isn't indefinite. The longer you wait to verify your eligibility, the more likely you are to face delays or complications. What's particularly fascinating about this new timeline is how it intersects with other economic policies currently in play. We're seeing a coordinated effort to synchronize these payments with other financial initiatives, creating what some economists are calling a prosperity cascade. The theory is that by timing these payments just right, they could trigger a multiplier effect in local economies, potentially generating more value than the actual dollar amount being distributed. But let's address the elephant in the room: the skepticism. Some critics have questioned whether this accelerated timeline is realistic, especially given the current political climate. What these skeptics miss is the unprecedented level of bipartisan support that's emerged behind the scenes. When you look at the voting records from recent committee meetings, you'll see something remarkable: representatives from both sides of the aisle coming together in ways we haven't seen in years. The verification process itself has undergone a complete transformation. Gone are the days of endless phone calls and waiting on hold. The new system uses advanced blockchain technology to verify identities and process payments securely. It's the same technology that's revolutionizing the banking industry, now being applied to government distributions. And yes, before you ask, it's completely secure. The encryption standards they're using exceed military-grade protocols. Here's something that isn't being widely reported: the role of state governments in this process. While the federal government is overseeing the program, individual states have been given unprecedented flexibility in how they implement certain aspects of the distribution. This means that depending on where you live, you might have access to additional state-level supplements that could significantly increase your total payment. What's particularly interesting is how this timeline interacts with other financial assistance programs. Unlike previous stimulus efforts, this one has been designed to complement, not conflict with, existing benefits. This means that if you're currently receiving other forms of government assistance, you won't have to worry about this payment affecting your eligibility for those programs. It's a level of coordination we haven't seen before in government benefit programs. But perhaps the most intriguing aspect of this new timeline is what it reveals about the future of government financial assistance. The systems and protocols being put in place aren't just for this one payment. They're building an infrastructure that could revolutionize how all government payments are handled going forward. We're witnessing the birth of a new era in government-citizen financial interactions. The impact on different demographic groups varies significantly, and this is where the details really matter. Senior citizens, for instance, are receiving special consideration under the new guidelines. The same goes for veterans, small business owners, and first responders. These groups might find themselves eligible for enhanced payments that weren't available in previous stimulus programs. One of the most frequent questions I've been getting is about the documentation requirements. Under the new timeline, the process has been streamlined significantly. Most people won't need to submit additional paperwork if they've filed taxes in the last 2 years. However, and this is important, there are certain situations where additional verification might be required. The key is to check your status early and respond quickly if any additional information is requested. Looking at the broader economic implications, this accelerated timeline could have far-reaching effects beyond the immediate relief it provides to individuals. Economic analysts are projecting that this could trigger a significant boost in consumer spending, particularly in sectors that have been struggling to recover from recent economic challenges. The timing, many believe, couldn't be better. Let's talk about what you need to do right now. First, make sure your information is up to date in the system. Second, be aware of the new verification deadlines. They're much earlier than previously announced. And third, understand that this timeline, while accelerated, still requires patience and attention to detail. The worst thing you could do is assume everything will happen automatically. As we wrap up, let me emphasize the most critical points. This new timeline represents a fundamental shift in how stimulus payments are being handled. The combination of accelerated processing, enhanced payment amounts, and improved technology makes this program significantly different from previous efforts. The February 2026 start date is closer than you might think, and preparation is key. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think about these changes? How will this new timeline affect your financial planning? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's start a conversation about this important development. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more updates as this situation continues to evolve. Remember, staying informed is your best strategy for maximizing the benefits available to you under this new program. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.